Hello and welcome to the second episode of Autisticraft. I'm gonna do these until my character in Minecraft finds a diamond. I think that would be an interesting sort of time to do it until. I was also thinking of doing more than one subject per video. So don't want to do too many of these. And another point about this video, which I'm worried about, is last one was scripted. This one isn't scripted. So I'm gonna have to sort of think of what to say at the top of my head, which does always. I never think I'm able to do that because it's really weird. Because it just doesn't seem something I'm good at doing. In a way, I like scripting things, but I don't want it to sound too robotic. And I've been told that it sounded reading off of a website or something, and it didn't feel like it was coming from me. Which I understand really, but it's just. I do find it hard to sort of think of what to say, because sometimes in conversations as well, I stop mid-sentence, and I think people are listening, and they sort of want me to say extra stuff, and they're saying, oh, what's he about to say? I just sort of finish, and they're like, oh, I guess he's done. Fair enough, sort of thing. I understand that's probably the situation that happens. Okay, so the first subject I'm going to do today, if I do only decide to do one subject or not, I don't know. I sort of tried to wing it. I want to talk about my COVID experience. No, I never had a COVID, luckily, but my situation with isolation, how everything started, massive changes and stuff, and sort of situations like that. So that's what this episode's going to be about. Basically. And I might not do more than one subject, because I want it, to spread out until I can find a diamond in Minecraft. Might be 2 episodes time, I don't know. I think that's a good ending point. But, so my COVID experience started in sort of March time, obviously, because that's when it started to get bad. I was still in college around that time. I was, I was definitely getting worried about going to public transport more than I already was, because I never liked public transport. I tend to sort of, change my clothes after using public transport when I get home. So I'd get home from college, I would, take off my trousers. Well, a t-shirt is not so bad, because I had, sort of coats on and stuff. So I would change my trousers, not sit on my bed, definitely not with trousers I sit on the bus with, put them in the wash, change into pajama shorts or something for the night. Evening wear lounge, sort of lounging around in the afternoon sort of thing. I would never want to sort of mix the outside world and other people's germs and stuff in my own sort of place, my sort of place where no one else sort of goes to. I don't want to sort of mix up with it. So it got much worse during COVID when there was an actual, problem of doing that. It actually sort of became worse to do that. So instead of just being irrational, which I probably was doing, it was also a good idea. And because of my irrationality, it became sort of a good idea that everyone else was following. It got a lot worse. It sort of worried me a lot more. But luckily, my dad used to work right near my college, so I did used to get lifts with him to and from during that sort of time. I did already certain days, but this sort of became every day. It had to because of COVID situations. I didn't want to be too careful. So my school got locked down. I wasn't too worried about sort of the missing friends and stuff, missing out on graduating college, sixth form college, because I don't know. I don't think I'd enjoy that sort of stuff, the proms and stuff. I did go to my high school one, but I don't think I'll enjoy, I don't know, I'm just not the sort of person that enjoys, I hope you can probably tell I'm not the sort of person that would enjoy, sixth form proms or whatever. But I sort of wasn't too worried about that. It actually came out a lot better for me, because exams, I had 1 A-level and 2 B-Tech, so 1 A exam I would have had to do was, media studies, which was going to be quite hard for me, because I'm decent at, really good, I'm decent at classwork and coursework and stuff. That's why I took 2 BTECs. But I'm not too good in exams. I don't know if that's got to do with Asperger's, but it's always been that way. It sort of affects me. The questions I don't understand, I can't sort of think exactly what they want from me in like written exams and things. So it's a good thing they sort of judged my coursework and stuff. So that's a good side of COVID, the coronavirus sort of situation. Be it a selfish one, but that's fair enough. That's sort of the one. But I did not like the situation I was in at the start. I didn't like the fact that, let's see, we had I'm trying to figure out when exactly this was during after March, but I have this my granddad. I wanted a social distance from him like so much, but we couldn't because we sort of have to look after him in a way because he sort of lives by himself because his my grandma is in hospital still. So that sort of situation. I'm gonna I see. This is why I need a script because I'm just going off on everything. No, okay. So the bottom line, there was some times where I felt like we should social distance when, even though we were inside of family lines and we had to do so, I did not like the fact that we were sort of being closer to people, even if they were in the family sort of circle. So grandparents, my cousin, he did some gardening outside our front porch during the COVID time. We weren't near him, but I still really didn't like it because the rules and the regulations, I just wanted to stick to it. Everything bothered me. It's like I had to stay away from everyone. I had to sort of make sure I was washing my hands, which I did anyway. But now I'm even more sort of worried about washing my hands than ever. So that didn't help. So I'm more into that. I'm sort of more scared about sort of catching an illness, which doesn't help with your anxiety. And I'm sort of got concerned about the effects of, I guess, other people getting it too. Just, like, it's hard for me to sort of empathise with people, but I wouldn't have liked anyone in my family to have got coronavirus. My dad has asthma, so I was told he was sort of a vulnerable person. So that sort of does, but I don't admit it. I don't really admit to my parents I don't want them to, get diseases and stuff, but I wouldn't really like them to get diseases, if I'm being honest. So that did affect me. I did be honest, I did have a few meltdowns. 1 or 2 at the start. But yeah, moving on to that. What else is there about COVID? I got very scared of sort of stores now. That's the one thing. I'm very sort of nervous about going around to other places. I visited my new uni town where I'm moving to university, which is going to be quite fun. So I visited there. I went into a cafe, which is the first time I've been to a cafe since about February. I went into a supermarket a month ago. That was a big step for me. That was the first time I've been out anywhere since like February or March. That bothered me. I didn't have like a meltdown or anything. I didn't really get too afraid of it, but it did sort of affect me in a way. I was very nervous about people being very close to me and stuff. I was very aware of that. And just sort of that sort of thing. It's just very, like, everything's amplified in this COVID situation. It's all of the fears that you've had in the past. Well, first for me, it's been amplified. So it hasn't been too fun, but I sort of am trying to get myself to be better used to it because I'm going to university and I need to be able to interact with people. I need to be able to do this sort of thing. So I'm trying to get used to it because I sort of need to. And that sort of stuff. So as it goes to socializing during coronavirus, sort of lockdown stuff, people at my college haven't barely spoken to them. I don't know. The thing is, I don't catch up. I don't just have the sort of mental feeling I have to talk to this person. I have to catch up with them because I kind of in the mindset that I could talk to them anytime I want, and hopefully they wouldn't mind, sort of thing. But I have started doing Dungeons and Dragons, which is sort of a role-playing board game sort of thing. Hard to explain in a few minutes, a few seconds left of this. Hard to explain, but so I just started socializing with more they're from university, so I started socializing from university sort of people. And so I just sort of went from there. So I found it a lot easier to, I think it is really good that I did some socializing during COVID from like Zooms and things, because it sort of didn't degrade my ability to socialize, because that was a real problem I was nervous about. Right, thank you for listening to this. I hope I wasn't too horrible. Thank you, have a good day, and I will see you next time.